The demon's contract. Ethan Bell was desperate. His mother lay in a hospital bed, her life slipping away with each passing day. The doctors had given up hope, and Ethan's savings were long gone. One rainy night, while drowning his sorrows in the dim light of his study, he stumbled upon an old book in his late father's collection. The book, bound in cracked leather, was titled, Pacts of the Beyond. Intrigued and with nothing left to lose, Ethan opened the book and found it filled with arcane symbols and detailed instructions for summoning a demon. The text promised power, wealth, and even life itself in exchange for a contract. Driven by despair, Ethan decided to give it a try. He gathered the required items: black candles, a silver dagger, and a vial of his own blood. Following the instructions to the letter, he drew a complex circle on the floor and lit the candles. As the clock struck midnight, Ethan pricked his finger with the dagger and let a drop of blood fall into the center of the circle. The air grew thick, and a chill ran down Ethan's spine. The candle flames flickered and then burned a deep, unnatural blue. From the shadows, a figure began to materialize, a tall, dark silhouette with glowing red eyes and a sinister smile. The demon stood before Ethan, exuding an aura of both power and malevolence. "You have summoned me, mortal," the demon said, its voice a low, rumbling growl. "What is it that you seek?" Ethan swallowed hard, his voice trembling as he spoke. "I want to save my mother. She's dying, and the doctors can't do anything. I'll do whatever it takes." The demon's smile widened. "Very well, I can grant you the power to heal your mother, but in return, you must agree to my terms." Ethan nodded eagerly. "Anything, just tell me what I need to do." The demon produced a parchment scroll, covered in intricate writing that seemed to shift and writhe on the page. "Sign this contract, and your wish will be granted. But remember, every contract comes with a price." Without hesitation, Ethan took the silver dagger and signed his name in blood at the bottom of the contract. The demon's eyes glowed brighter, and the parchment vanished in a puff of black smoke. "It is done," the demon said. "Your mother will be healed by morning. In return, you belong to me. When the time comes, I will claim your soul." Ethan's heart raced, but relief washed over him. "Thank you," he whispered. The demon's laughter echoed through the room as it vanished, leaving Ethan alone with the flickering blue flames. Exhausted, he collapsed onto the floor and fell into a deep sleep. The next morning, Ethan rushed to the hospital. To his amazement, his mother was sitting up in bed, her cheeks rosy and her eyes bright. The doctors were baffled, calling it a miraculous recovery. Ethan's heart swelled with joy, but a nagging fear lingered in the back of his mind. Years passed, and Ethan tried to forget about the contract. He threw himself into his work, built a successful business, and lived a life of prosperity. But every so often, he would catch a glimpse of a shadow moving in the corner of his eye or hear a low, rumbling laugh in the dead of night. One evening, as Ethan sat alone in his study, the room grew cold, and the candles flickered blue. The demon appeared before him, its red eyes gleaming with anticipation. Less than 3's greater than. "It's time," the demon said, extending a clawed hand. Less than 3's greater than. Panic surged through Ethan. "Please, there must be another way. I'll give you anything. Less than 3's greater than." The demon shook its head. "A contract is a contract, Ethan Bell. You knew the terms. Less than 3's greater than." Desperation clawed at Ethan's heart. "Take my wealth, my possessions, anything but my soul. Less than 3's greater than." The demon's grin widened. "Very well, I can offer a trade. Another soul for yours. Less than 3's greater than." Ethan's mind raced. He thought of his friends, his colleagues, anyone who might take his place. But as he considered his options, a cold realization settled over him. He couldn't condemn another innocent person to this fate. Less than three's greater than. With a heavy heart, Ethan shook his head. No, I can't do that. Less than three's greater than. The demon's eyes softened, almost pityingly. Then your fate is sealed. Less than three's greater than. Ethan closed his eyes, accepting his fate. The last thing he felt was the demon's cold hand on his shoulder, pulling him into darkness. Less than three's greater than. The next morning, Ethan's lifeless body was found in his study, a look of both peace and terror etched onto his face. The townspeople mourned his loss, never knowing the true story of his pact with the demon. Less than three's greater than. And somewhere, in the shadows, the demon waited, the contract fulfilled, yet always ready to offer another desperate soul a deal too tempting to refuse.
Dear viewers, if you like to watch the scariest horror stories, do subscribe, like and share our channel. Thank you.